Good morning, it's Mary James, and I'm going to dish it out today making breadcrumb croutons that I love for a salad, particularly my combo kale and breadcrumb crouton salad that has arugula and all kinds of fresh greens in it. So you can use any kind of bread, and I usually wait until I have enough to make it worth my while to do this. So today I have some sourdough rosemary bread. I have a piece of a baguette. And I have some store-bought sourdough slices. All of these will toast at a different rate. Sometimes I keep them separate. Sometimes I mix them up and just know that one's going to be darker than the other. That's your choice. So the main thing is the crust on this one's a little tough, so I just give it a rough cut so that I can put it in the food processor. And that's going to give you some very uneven, which is what you're looking for, crumbs. Let's just go on and put all this in. You don't want to overload it, and I'm borderline here. It's better to do several batches. Just means I'll have more crumbs. This bread is tough enough that I can actually turn the machine on and leave it on. Some other bread, like the store-bought bread over there, will turn into just absolute breadcrumbs. But the pulsing action will give you a nice uneven texture. But look at what I have here, and that was very, very quick to do. So turn it out, and if you happen to see a piece that didn't get broken up too much, just do that. The rest of them, I like a piece that size. You like the big and the little. That's the beauty of a breadcrumb crouton. So now we're going to season them. I have a little bit of gray salt here. This is actually white pepper, but you can have either. And if you store your pepper in a little thing like that, that's a good time to get rid of the excess that gets on the bottom. And this is savory, which I adore because it's slightly milder than thyme and doesn't overpower. And sometimes I think thyme gets a musty flavor. So let's use this. Toss it. And then we're going to add our olive oil, and my olive oil of choice actually comes from Costco, and it is 100% Italian. Make sure you get the 100% Italian one. They've got about 3 bottles that look alike, and this is the one that I buy. It is definitely my go-to and has been for years. So be generous with your olive oil. See, you've got wonderful little fine crumbs as well as the bigger chunks. It all works out. These are going to go into a 300-degree oven. And I can't tell you the time because some days the bread is more stale, more dense, more whatever. But I always set the first timer for 20 minutes. And then I look at it and make a decision about the rest of it. And I see I'm being very generous with the olive oil. Nothing like a homemade crouton, and they keep forever in your cupboard. So how do I store them? Well, I believe in using jars. Today, I have a jar. Well, I'm gonna start with the big jar. Rarely do I have that many, but I could do it in this gallon jar. This is my second size jar, and this is typically the jar that I keep them in. And then thirdly, if I just have a few, I just have I think there was a spaghetti sauce in this jar at one time. Jars are a great way to store everything. So, all right, this is headed to the oven, and we'll have some breadcrumb croutons.